What's going on YouTube, United Gamer 101 here, and welcome back to another episode of all weapon locations and showcase in Dark Souls 3. In today's episode I'm going to be showing you guys all 6 great axes located in this game. Honestly, all these weapons in this video are viable for PvP and PvE. If you're enjoying this series and you find it helpful, be sure to give the video a thumbs up, and if you're new, be sure to subscribe for more Dark Souls 3 content on my channel. In the description below you can find a link to a playlist of all the weapons that I have done already or that I will be doing. You can also find there a timeline of all the weapons so you can see what point in the video I show off each weapon. If you have any questions at any time of the video, be sure to comment below or tweet me at UnitedGamer101, which is probably the easiest way to get in contact with me. I will be going in the order of how you find these great axes in your playthrough. Each great axe that I own in the video is upgraded to either +4 or +9 so you can see what the weapon looks like at max stats. Unfortunately, I can't get them all to either +5 or +10 because I do not have enough Titanite slabs. For each great axe, I will be showing you guys off the moveset of the weapon, the location of the weapon, and any recommendation that I have about what type of build you should make with it. I will also be showing you guys what you need to upgrade it, like Titanite Shard or Twinkling Titanite, and also if the weapon can be buffed or infused with any gems. But without further ado guys, let's go ahead and check out all weapon locations of the great axes in Dark Souls 3. First up, we have the Great Machete located in the Undead Settlement. This weapon can be infused as well as buffed by any type of spell. This in my opinion is one of the weakest great axes in this game, and I'll tell you why. First off, its scaling is not so good. It only gets a C scaling and strength, and then its base damage isn't so well either. You pretty much have to buff it and infuse it to make it viable. Although infusing it with like a heavy gem plus using like Karthus Flame Arc or Lightning Blade, it does make it pretty decent, but compared to the other great axes in this game, it's not really that amazing. The moveset is very similar to the other great axes in this game, but the weapon skill is actually very different. It is the sharpen skill. This is the only great axe with a weapon skill, and if you don't know what it does, it sharpens your blade to where if you ever attack an enemy, it actually heals you slowly. Now, it's not so great for PvP, but it can be very beneficial for PvE. As you can tell, its stats aren't so amazing, but if you did put a heavy infusion on that, and then give it like some kind of buff, like Crystal Magic Weapon, if you're doing like a Strength Intelligence build, or like Strength Faith build, then maybe it could be pretty viable. Like I said, it is located in the Undead Settlements very early in the game, coming from the Dilapidated Bridge bonfire. You want to come down here and come over to the Hollow Manservant and farm it off him. This can take a long time. I've had it on one playthrough where it took about 20 tries, and one playthrough that I got it on my second, so be patient and you'll eventually get it. Next up is as basic as it gets, the Great Axe. An actually very viable weapon in this game that does a lot of damage and that can be infused as well as buffed by any spell. This weapon needs Titanite Shards to upgrade all the way up to +10. Now since this weapon can be infused as well as buffed, I plan on giving it a heavy infusion to get my strength up to a B scaling, and then throwing on like Lightning Blade or Crystal Magic Weapon with an Intelligent Strength build or a Faith Strength build. This weapon can do loads of damage and can pack a very heavy hit on your opponent. Since it is really basic, it does have the default moveset for great axes as well as the weapon skill, which is Warcry, which honestly is irrelevant if you're going to end up buffing it with Lightning Blade because it'll cancel that out. As you can tell, I do have a heavy infusion on it, and like I said, I'm planning on making a build, but if you don't have one on it, it's going to have about 30 more damage and less scaling, but if you do infuse it and have a good bit of strength like I do, it adds about 30 to 40 damage to this weapon. Now this weapon can be found as early as the High Wall of Lothric if you drop it from one of those Great Axe skeletons, but the place to actually find it on the ground is in the Fairy Keep coming from the Keep Ruins bonfire. We're going to go up by the Stray Demon and it's going to be on the ground. All in all, this is an amazing great axe, and I plan on making a build for this weapon. I think it can be very, very good. Next up is one of the more popular great axes that I've seen in this game, and that is the Demon's Great Axe. I have seen many players use this weapon in PvP. This is a special weapon, meaning that you need Titanite skills to upgrade it up to +5. and you cannot infuse it, nor can it be buffed by any magic spell. This weapon does have the default moveset for GreatAxes, but it has a pretty unique weapon art. And honestly, I'm not quite sure on how good this weapon is, if it's amazing, sucks, or anything, to be honest. It does have a good bit of damage when upgraded up to +4. I imagine making some kind of pyromancy strength build for this weapon, since it does have a little bit of scaling of intelligence and faith, and it kind of makes sense since it's like a fire weapon. This weapon does do about 600 damage when upgraded to +4, so I imagine like 640 at +5. It is pretty solid damage, plus if you land that demonic flare weapon art skill, then you're gonna do loads of damage. This is definitely a unique weapon that I recommend checking out. This weapon is located right before Smoldering Lake in the Catacombs of Karthus. Right before the High Lord Walner boss fight, you want to come across this bridge, hit it, and it's going to open up a secret area. Come down here, defeat the fire demon down here, return back to Ludlith in the Firelink Shrine, and trade this guy's soul for the demon's great axe. Next up, yet again, is another very popular weapon in PvP, and that is the Black Knight Greataxe. This weapon is upgraded with Twinkling Titanite up to +5, and it cannot be infused, nor can it be buffed by any magic spell. The thing that makes this weapon unique compared to the other Greataxes is its moveset. It's more of a swiping motion to the left and right, which is a good landing hit for PvP and PvE if you're swarm. The scaling doesn't go up that much for this weapon, as it only goes to a C in strength and a D in dexterity, but the base damage for this weapon at +5 is straight up phenomenal. With its damage around 570 without any buffs, plus its moveset, it makes it a fantastic weapon. This is definitely a weapon that I'm planning for a future strength build. Although its moveset is different, its weapon skill is like the others, which is Warcry, which actually makes this beneficial for this weapon, because since it can't be buffed, that Warcry actually does add a little bit more damage for you. This weapon can be farmed off the Black Knights that you see throughout this game, but my favorite place to get this weapon is coming from the Champion Gundyr bonfire and the Untinted Graves, which is much later in the game. The reason this is my favorite place to farm it is because it's right by a bonfire. You can already have the Gold Serpent Ring that increases your item drops from enemies. It only took me 2 tries on one character to get this weapon, so I recommend farming him right here next to Champion Gundyr's bonfire. Next up is one of the greatest strength weapons in Dark Souls 3, and that is Yhorm's Great Machete, as it upgrades all the way up to an A scaling in strength and an amazing damage base. This is yet again another special weapon in the Greataxes, since you trade Yhorm the Giant's boss soul to Ludlith and Firelink Shrine for it, and since it is a special weapon, you need Titanite skills to upgrade it. This weapon cannot be infused, nor can it be buffed by any type of magic spell. It really doesn't need to be buffed because it does so much damage already, and the scaling itself helps a lot, so I really only recommend this weapon for a pure strength build. The moveset is no different than the others, and its weapon art skill is yet again Warcry. As you can tell, even at +4, it already has an A scaling in strength, and it has a good bit of damage with my 50 strength. Once I get that thing to +5, it will be a phenomenal weapon for a pure strength build. This weapon is obviously obtained from defeating the Yhorm the Giant boss and trading his boss soul to Ludlith and Firelink Shrine. All in all, this weapon is amazing, and I definitely recommend it for builds on PvP and PvE. Last but surely not least is the Dragonslayer Greataxe. This is one of my favorite weapons in the entire game. This weapon does so much damage, and I just love the look of this weapon. This is a special weapon that is upgraded with Titanite skills that cannot be buffed, nor can it be infused with any gem. And honestly, this weapon does not need a type of buff, otherwise this weapon will be nerfed immediately. It is extremely viable for PvE and PvP. I absolutely love this weapon. and for the fact that you can get it for fighting the Dragonslayer armor, which is a reference to Ornstein. I just love that. Its L2 move is extremely powerful, its weapon art skill is just phenomenal for PvE, but it is kind of hard to bait someone in that in PvP. But if you can do it and get a solid hit, it will almost one-shot someone every time. You can do a strength and faith build. The faith will actually increase the lightning damage, but to be honest, you don't have to do that. You can do a pure strength build and do just a little bit less damage, but have a lot of vigor and endurance. All in all, this is an amazing weapon, and like I said, you want to come to the Dragonslayer boss fight, defeat it, return back to Firelink Shrine, and trade the boss soul to Ludleth for this weapon. That concludes all of the GreatAxe locations in Dark Souls 3. Be sure to comment below what weapon I should do next. I saw a lot of people wanting great swords and ultra great swords as well as curved swords, so I'm going to be looking to do those next. I sure hope you did find this video helpful or this series helpful, because I've been up editing all the way up to 5 AM right now and I really need some sleep. But if you did find it helpful, be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new to the channel. I have a lot of other Dark Souls 3 content on my channel and that will be coming. Also check out my Twitch at UnitedGamer101, as I've been streaming some PvP fight clubs recently. This series and videos of Dark Souls 3 in general will be coming out a little bit more consistently now that I have a little bit more time on my hands, so be sure to check those sub boxes every day. Lastly, I just want to say thank you guys for helping me reach 80,000 subscribers. It completely blows my mind on how successful these Dark Souls 3 guys. It makes all the hard work worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on another Dark Souls 3 video. As always, this is not just a channel, it's a family, and I'll see you guys later.